Bhagavad Gita. Now we are in the second part of Gita. Last class we had discussed started answering Arjuna's queries. Arjuna gave 5 queries in the first chapter, 4 queries in the first chapter, and 5th in the second chapter. And Krishna starts answering them. And the first thing Krishna does is that he gives knowledge, some jnana about soul and body. And that's what we studied last time. Now after that is over, at the end we had the sloka, and we called this the amazing sloka. Everything is amazing. Krishna says, some look on the soul as amazing, describe him as amazing, some hear of him as amazing, while others even after hearing about him cannot understand him at all. So actually it's a great fortune to be guided by Krishna. We see that, so many scientists, we compare ourselves with them. They are nowhere. They are so intelligent. We can't even understand one line they speak. But our fortune is that we have accepted Krishna as a guide. And Prabhupada says, from Shri Krishna, the supreme authority, please accept this fact. You are not the body, or spirit, soul. Okay? And Krishna has also given, not only that, the supreme authority is whimsical, he has also given reasons and the way we can understand. So this is the amazing shloka. So we have to be fortunate, to be amazed by the soul. Otherwise, unfortunate we cannot understand him at all. That famous statement. Many people say, I understand, I am not body, I am soul. Okay? You understand, you say, I understand. But the way they are living shows they are not understood on body. So, yes, Mother, start reading. Translation silence.
O descendant of Bharata, he who dwells in the body is eternal and can never be saved. Therefore, you need not grieve for any creature.
Okay, now Krishna is Prabhupada saying in the purport, Krishna is concluding the instructions he kept giving for the soul. He is concluding that you are not body, you are spirit, soul, and Arjuna, don't worry, nobody is going to die here. Yes, next sloka.
Considering your specific duty as a Kshatriya, you should know that there is no better engagement for you than fighting on religious principles, and so there is no need for hesitation.
Now Arjuna gave 5 questions. Now Krishna firstly answers Arjuna. This chapter has various parts. By the knowledge that we are not body, we are soul. Now Krishna goes to something called karma kanda, basically checkmating him from all angles. These are normal moral, morning I was telling you the joke I didn't share with most of you. Most of the people, their understanding of Gita is that apna karam karo. Gita means apna karam karo. So I give an example. That's not me, some devotee, I just repeat it. Is that suppose you get a job. You got it. And you get a big office. You get a phone, you get AC, you get car, you get servants. And after that, seeing all these facilities, what do? You start a travel agency. Now, whoever gave you jobs at Tata, Birla, they will be irritated. No? They give you all these facilities to work for them, not for opening your own business. Okay? The same way, we have got these facilities from Krishna. We got a wonderful body, we got air to breathe, we got food to eat, we got all the sun, moon, everything, all facilities. And we want to make our own business here. We don't even for one moment question why Krishna has given me this body. Never. And if Krishna also comes in front and says, just like a boss comes to your office, you're working for Tata or TCS, and you do all this thing, the boss comes, what the hell is going on here? What's the nonsense? You're supposed to do software programs. And you open your own travel agency here, using all the facilities. Okay? But here, Krishna suppose comes and asks, what's all going on? I give you the body for doing something. And what is something Krishna wants us to do? Yat karoshi, yat jibhosi, yat dadasi. Whatever you do it as an offering for me. Everything should be done for my pleasure. It's mine. Servant business only is to please the master. He has no personal business. But now, suppose Krishna comes, we will tell Krishna, "Aapne bola na apna karma karo." That's what he told in Gita. That is what we have actually completely misunderstood. What Krishna wants in Bhagavad Gita, and what we have is actually hodgepodge Hinduism. Hodgepodge. Prabhupada used to, devotees joke, go, went, gone. It's like go and gone. It's gone actually. Nowhere, anywhere near what Krishna had taught ever in Bhagavad Gita. But it is true, within the second chapter, some 2-3 instructions are there where Krishna corners Arjuna, checkmates Arjuna, even from the karma. For that matter, Krishna even uses atheism, just few slokas before. It doesn't that Krishna teaching is atheism. And he says, Krishna, Arjuna, correct? If you believe that we are not the body, if you do not believe this, the soul exists, then cut. So when Krishna says, the point is that if there is no soul, it's just a bag of chemical, you can cut, correct? It doesn't mean that Krishna is teaching atheism. Krishna is cornering Arjuna from all angles. So therefore, we have to properly understand in the guidance of an acharya what Krishna wants to teach. Krishna has spent time explaining we are not body and soul. So nothing. It's very important. That's the first thing Krishna teaches. But now Krishna is cornering Arjuna from karma. So as a Kshatriya, Prabhupada says, non-violence in Kshatriya, that what Gandhi introduced or what Dalai Lama and the gang is doing, is absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Administrator to be non-violent is, maybe some kind of a diplomacy sometimes, you may use it as a trick, but it is never a practical solution. Administrator should be ready, if need, to exert violence. He has to be ready sometimes. So consider duty as a Kshatriya, you should know, that's what Arjuna was proposing. As a Kshatriya, I will be non-violent. So Krishna is saying, that is not a business of a Kshatriya. Shat means injury. Tra means trayate. He has to save people from injury. And people like Duryodhana rule. It's a havoc. So something has to be done. There is no better engagement for fighting on religious issues. There is no need of hesitation.
Bharata, happy are the Kshatriyas to whom such fighting opportunities come unsought, opening to them the doors of the heavenly planets.
Yeah, any person. See, we all play a different role in the society. Somebody is playing a Shudra role, somebody is playing a Vaishya role, Kshatriya role, Brahmana role. So whatever role is there in the society, we do it nicely, provided society is organized in a Varnashrama way. Today, it has zero benefit. Zero. Because society is not organized. Whatever work you are doing, it is no way of any pleasure to Krishna. That cats and dogs also know to take care of their family. That is useless. What apna karam karo, that is just useless. In a Varnashram society, what happens? The whole society, just like in a temple, any activity you do in a temple, that is devotion service. You lay the mats, you clean, correct? You cook. Everything becomes devotion service. If you organize your house like a temple, then everything done there is a devotion service. Otherwise, it's useless. Watching TV, it's all useless. Useless. There is no way a person is advancing 1 inch in spiritual life. And Prabhupada used to say, you should be careful. Bharata Maharaj, little mistake he did. What was the little mistake? He got slightly attached to a deer. He took birth again in this world. He was punished for that. So just because you have become a devotee, just because you understood some philosophy of Krishna consciousness, it's not that we can do anything and everything we want to do. We should be very, very careful. Okay? So if a society is organized in a Varnashrama way, wherein what happens in Varnashrama, the whole society becomes content. Correct? The whole objective is worship of the Lord. So whatever somebody is doing is giving some result toward service to Krishna. Okay? Because what is the shloka? Varnashrama. Samsiddhi Haritoshana. The whole purpose of Varnashrama is that somehow the Lord is satisfied. If that way the society is organized, then it is different. Okay? So therefore he is saying, Arjuna, anyway do your duty as a Kshatriya. The Kshatriya's duty is to protect people from injury. If he works in that spirit, definitely he will be blessed. See what used to happen? Kshatriyas used to ensure that the orders of Krishna are obeyed in the society. So there is a link there. Correct? Kshatriya is Naradeva. He is the Lord, he is representing the Lord in this world. So it's just like Parikshit Maharaj, when he saw that the four regulative principles should be observed. Correct? And when he saw somewhere some Kali Purusha were killing a cow and a bull, what he did? Immediately stopped it. He took out his sword and go to kill you now. But because everything was properly organized, the things are so beautiful. Just like today, you are an honest Kshatriya, it's of no use. You will go to hell together with that. Because what you are doing anyway with the Kshatriya, people are drinking, eating meat, smoking, all nonsense. You are only getting 1/6 of the karma of the society, that's all. Any responsibility you take, the dependent people, their papa karma comes to you. Our parents, if they don't, nowadays, parents generally are pampering. They don't have courage to tell the children, you cannot do the sinful activity. Be ready. 50% of the karma of the child comes to you. All papa karma will come. Be ready for it. And go to hell with the child. Similarly, the leader. Now they are saying for election, I heard, even BJP said in Bangalore, we will increase the nightlife time. Very good. Be ready to go to hell with the children. They said, yesterday they gave proposal. Till 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, we will extend. Please give us vote. Yeah, you may get vote, but you are making a fast track to hell along with those youth who will take advantage of it. So speed they will go, full speed. So in that understanding, we should understand a society is properly organized. Every role that is played, correct? Just like I am going to temple, even hand, leg, head, everything is fixed. But if I am not going to temple, if the society is not targeted towards the lotus feet of the Lord, you may play some role, but you also go to hell with that. Just like you are an auto driver. You take somebody to bar, you take somebody to temple. A society which is properly organized, people in the evening all go to temple. So you also go to Vaikuntha because you actually playing your role are some way becoming instrument for positive thing. But suppose the society is going to bar and you are taking one by one people to bar, good. You also go with them. So this shloka should be properly understood. Yes.
If, however, you do not find this religious war, then you will certainly incur sins for neglecting your duties and thus lose your reputation as a fighter.
He had a great reputation. Arjuna was known as a great warrior. So Krishna is saying, see, religious war. This war is for what? Establishing dharma. Where Krishna's order with Duryodhana never followed, neither subjects under him will ever follow. And Krishna decided, we all know very clear, Krishna wanted Pandavas to fight. So it is not that non-violence is some great principle. Sometimes violence is needed. It's not that we are, if it is needed, yes. There should no sentimental in it. Yes, it is needed. Generally, people who are fickle-minded, they should be no violence. It's needed. Sometimes it is needed. Yes, go ahead. Take it. Certainly incur sins for neglecting your duty, thus you lose your reputation as a fighter. So Krishna is here educating violence when needed. Dharma Yuddha.
People will always speak of the infamy, and for one who has been honored, dishonor is worse than death.
Correct? So now Krishna is saying, you may run away from the battlefield, but Karna, Duryodhana, all the people will have a laugh. And a person respected like Arjuna was he's speaking on Karma Kanda platform, not on a devotee platform. Devotee, you don't speak like that. In Devi, a devotee doesn't bother all this. You don't have to give this instruction to a Brahman. He said, in Devi, Samadukhe, all he will be equal. But he's addressing to him like a Kshatriya now. A Kshatriya. Because a person, Kshatriya, cannot handle himself. You know, Dhruva Maharaj, when Narad Muni told him, how does it matter? He said, no, Kshatriya blood is flowing. I can't tolerate the insult by my stepmother. In the same way, he's saying, Arjuna, dishonor will be more unbearable. Maybe for a respectable person, it's better to die than have a dishonor. Okay? Many times it happens when dishonor comes, any respect. See, we like dishonored, it's fine. When somebody is honored, more difficult it will become for you to handle the dishonor. Correct? So, Arjuna imagined the honor as a Kshatriya, known as the topmost Kshatriya, and people will say he was a coward and he ran away. that dishonor, he is saying you will not be able to handle. Better die here. You will die anyway. In the forest, when you hear Duryodhana Karna laughing and you hear they laughed like anything, you will commit suicide there in the forest. Better die here, it will be glorious. Instead of dying out of shame in some forest or some hidden.
The great generals who have highly esteemed your name and fame, they think that you have left the battlefield out of fear only, and thus they will consider you a coward.
Correct? He will consider you a coward. They will not think out of compassion, I didn't want to kill my teacher, grandfather, nobody, because it's an unusual activity. Everybody think he came well prepared and he saw the army and he ran.
Your enemies will describe you in many unkind words and scorn your ability. What could be more painful for you?
Correct. So Krishna is continuing. This is Karmakanda platform. Basically, it's not the highest platform, but after using a very high platform of the soul, Krishna is cornering Arjuna, checkmating him even from this direction. So from all angles, he has to fight. There is no other way.
O son of Kundi, either you will be killed on the battlefield and attain the heavenly planets, or you will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. Therefore, get up and fight with determination.
Okay. So definitely, when somebody is doing his duty in a proper Varnashram society, if he dies also, he will rest. Correct? It is on the course of his duty he has died. They say you will attain heavenly planets. And this is again karma kanda, because as a devotee, our target is not heaven. We want to go to Vaikuntha. Okay? So that is one. And second part is telling is that you win the war, you will enjoy the kingdom. Like that. So he has.
Do thou fight for the sake of fighting, without considering happiness or distress, loss or gain, victory or defeat, and by so doing you shall never incur sin.
Yeah, this is very good example. Now in the purport is explained nicely. Just like in an army sometimes, we go to fight for the country. Even though we kill so many soldiers on the opposite side, there is no punishment. We get rather Paramveer Chakra. Correct? But you get no Chakra. They punish you, no? There are so many soldiers you kill opposite. No? The same way, when you are acting on the order of the Lord, there is no worry about Papa Karma. Arjuna does not have to worry. He is working on Krishna's order. Krishna will absorb all that. And there is no Papa Karma that Krishna has already decided. All the soldiers on the opposite side, they saw Krishna and they all went to Vaikuntha. So where is the Papa Karma? Only people who do not understand things deeper. It's not easy actually to understand things a little deeper. At the time of death, if you see Krishna, you go back to Vaikuntha. Ante Narayana Smriti. At the time of death, if you think about Narayana, you go to Vaikuntha. Here they are seeing the Lord Himself when they are dying. So where there is a question of any loss for anybody. And those who lived in the world, Yudhishthira Maharaj created Vaikuntha on earth for them. So everybody benefited from the law. Correct? Arjuna had so many calculations in the first chapter. But reality we know in Bhagavatam, the rule of Yudhishthira Maharaj is explained. Everything was fine.
Thus far, I have declared to you the analytical knowledge of Sankhya philosophy. Now, listen to the knowledge of yoga, whereby one works without looking result. O son of Krita, when you act by such intelligence, you can free yourself from the bondage of births.
Okay. So now Krishna is saying, I have explained to you till now, two ways he has explained, by soul. Therefore, Krishna even does this small argument, Krishna doesn't even refer. You see that? Even though he used karma kanda, he is not referred to that just by the passing. That's why he is saying, thus far I told you by analytical. That is Sankhya is not this karma kanda. Sankhya is separating body and the soul. Just like you count. Sankhya means 1, 2, 3, 4. Correct? So separating body from the soul here is referred to as Sankhya. And Prabhupada spends in this purport long time to explain to us, don't fall into the trap of there is two Kapilas in our Indian history. One is a Kapila which is mentioned in Bhagavata, Devahuti Putra Kapila. Therefore Prabhupada sorted a book is printed, Teachings of Lord Kapila, son of Devahuti. That is real Sankhya. And that is devotion service. And it talks about becoming a great devotee of the Lord. There is one imposed for Kapila, where most of the atheists are trapped by that. He's an imposter. He's not the Kapila mentioned in the scriptures at all. He is atheistic. Mostly the impersonalists, they read his Sankhya. And they don't understand, already in the scripture, a Sankhya, Kapila is there, who is teaching. Why we need to have a duplicate when the real one is there? But the impersonalists generally get trapped by that Kapila, and they think Krishna is referring to this Sankhya here. Krishna is not referring to that Sankhya at all. Why will he refer to an atheist? And anyway, that person has to come later. Correct? Not before that person. Atheistic Sankhya is a different also. Whatever it is. Later or before. Yeah.
In this endeavor, there is no loss of dimension, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from most dangerous type of fear.
Okay, this shloka we can chant, and people can try to cram this shloka. Neha vikramanaasho asti pratyavayo na vidyate salvamapi asya dharmasya prayate mahato bhayat. Something beautiful Krishna is saying, that in this endeavor, nasho asti, there is no loss. What is this endeavor? Devotion service. It's like you, suppose you are doing engineering, or you are doing 8th or 9th class. In middle you leave, rest. You will not get 9th class pass at you. You are doing engineering, you are doing homeopathy, you leave in first year, best. Okay? You do 5 year, it was 5.5 year course, is a 5 year, 4 month, 28 days. Just leave 2 days, best. So material endeavor is like that. You are making a building, you just leave little, best. Okay? Nobody will buy that. So many, if you leave incomplete, it becomes waste in this world. This world is like that. But just like you are making food, you leave it in one state, that also becomes waste. You didn't put salt and one thing you left. So material world is like that. Unless thing is completed, it is of no value. But spiritual life is something unique. Little advance, little pleasure you are given to the Lord, little. It is recorded. And that's your one step advance. It is just like when you are hungry. Little food you eat, correct? Still, some hunger is mitigated. So, Atma is also hankering to serve the Lord. But whatever degree you have awakened the soul, or the soul has been fed by the service to the Lord, that much next life you begin with. So, how fortunate is this? One thing fortunate, correct? Very easy to understand. We did not become pure devotee. Thoda we did. 1%. We awakened ourselves to the reality. Thoda, we opened our eyes, Om Jnana Timirandasya, you're not fully, literally opened. Next life, your life starts from that much. Till fully opens, you're not going back to Krishna. And so this is the kindness of Krishna. Therefore, in material life, whatever endeavors we do become zero. Next life, you have to start from nursery. You can't say, last life I was a PhD and I will directly start teaching in college. No sir, go to nursery. But spiritual thing, whatever you awaken, just like by Krishna's grace, all of you have some taste of kirtan. It is not ordinary. Aho patos pacho vigariyana ya jivagre vardate nam tubhyam. Shastra say he must have done everything which is possible. Tepas, tapas, he must have done all tapasya, he must have done all kind of archana, yagna, homa, tirtha, dana, he must have done everything. Why? Tip of his tongue, the holy name of the Lord is there. How fortunate this person is. Vedas says, how fortunate this person is. So it's not easy, you have to pray to the Lord. My Lord, allow your holy name to manifest on my tongue. My Lord, allow me to hear about you. You have to, otherwise, you try also, it will not be, some people say, unless it is sanctioned, it will not happen. Yeah, you can't chant. You want to chant, you can't chant. You have to pray to the Lord, allow me, my Lord. Because the amount of things, distractions in Kali Yuga, which entangle us, even though there is a time, everybody has enough time. In my calculation, everybody has 8 hours every day, free, which he can use. Okay, student life, you can throw some of those hours for your studies every day, but still 3-4 hours everybody has. But then those time goes in so many distractions. Kali Yuga means weapons of mass distractions are there. Okay? So this shloka should be remembered that material life, whatever you do, gets wasted very soon. But spiritual life, it is permanent. Even little advancement is next life. So whatever pleasure we are getting little in Kirtan, correct? All of us, by Krishna's grace, it's not ordinary. This is a great step we have got. Next life, you will start from there. We are presently in a stage of called Nama Bharata stage. Next stage comes Nama Bhasa stage. Next stage comes Shuddha Nama stage. Shuddha Nama stage is like Krishna, it's like a sweet. And that is a very advanced stage. So, but whatever stage we are in, whatever advancement you made is a permanent asset. Just imagine how beautiful is Krishna. Even children can join us. Where you are going to forest doing meditation, all this, jnana, I am not body, and why common child can do? Correct? Is it possible for him to take sannyasa to all? But here anybody, a child or an old man, anybody can just participate in Hari Kirtana in service to the Lord and achieve permanent benefit. Once a child was once paying obesity, children sometimes, small children, they just imitate. And when they see father, they pay obeisance, they get up. They see father is still paying obeisance, they again fall down. You see? So now what happens? We think, is it going waste? Prabhupada said, no, it is not going waste. It is all going credit, credit, credit. And one day when enough credit is there, he'll purchase Krishna. Prabhupada said, enough credit. So don't think anywhere it is going waste. How auspicious. Prabhupada said, you're not able to chant, you're not able to do anything. Just go sit in front of the Lord. Just sit down in front of the Lord. That's all. That's the credit. You will get credit. The Lord is looking at you. He is so kind person. Because of this shloka should look at. Now all these shlokas are jewels. These are all shlokas are foundations of devotion service. In fact, Krishna here teaches about Buddhi Yoga. These are all part of Buddhi Yoga. But Prabhupada, 10th chapter, 10th shloka, is the shloka about Tesham Satayuktanam Jadam Priti Purvakam Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yena Mam Upyatite. Krishna says, I will give Buddhi Yoga by which you come to me. Therefore Prabhupada says, Buddhi Yoga is not different from devotion service. Okay, even though technically he is teaching Buddhi Yoga, but knowing Krishna's later revelation in 10th chapter, this is, and we can see where the nature is devotion service. Yes, next. We will chant the shloka. Vyavasayatmika buddhi Ekeha Gurunandana Bhushakai Anantascha Buddhayo Avyasayana. This shloka also can be crammed.
Those who are on this path are resolute in purpose and their aim is one. O beloved child of the Gurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branched.
You know, all of us remember when we have the holidays. Many of you are devotees, but when we are not devotees, you don't know what to do. Sometimes we play, go to internet, sometimes we play games, sometimes we gossip, sometimes we go to Bhoga Tyaga, we try 100 things. If you say somebody how many desires, he has trillions. And he keeps jumping from one desire to another desire, correct? So he's saying a man who has not got Krishna consciousness, his intelligence is many branched. Millions of desires, many branches. But Bahushaka, okay? Vyavasayatmika buddhi, but once somebody has fixed himself on Krishna, is fully satisfied. Just like a child, you know, he is, unless you give him to the mother, he will never be satisfied. Today morning I was reading one devotee scientist. He was saying, object identification. They are struggling to identify the big supercomputers. A child can identify his relative Hak. But for them to identify Apple, supercomputer has to spin. But anyway, a child, unless you give it to the mother, he will not be satisfied. Correct? He will keep crying a small child. Similarly, same way, when we come to the lotus feet of Krishna, completely satisfied. Otherwise, we keep jumping from one to another because we are not satisfied. We keep trying, but none of them think works. But when you come to the shelter of the Lord, we are fully satisfied. Therefore, an aim is one. He will not. You tell him anything else. Therefore, a devotee means he should have no distraction. Why it is expected? Because he has got something, it gives him full satisfaction. Okay? We are not devotee there. but it's a very hard path. The Krishna is saying, Vyavasayatmika means once he has tasted lotus feet of Krishna, he doesn't want anything. Yes. Now you read.
Men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, which recommend very fruitive activities for elevation to heavenly planets, result in good birth, power, and so forth. Being desirous of sense gratification and opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this.
Most of the people, when they read the Veda means Karma Kanda. Bhagavad Gita platform is much higher than the Vedas. Much higher. You see some jokers tell you, we only follow Vedas. Krishna is telling in Gita, Yam imam pushpitam. Okay, get a go. Mostly the Vedic literature is Karma Kanda. Mostly. And then there are some Upanishads which give you hint of the soul. Hint that also. Not much knowledge, little knowledge of the soul. God, little. Mostly Dharma, Artha, Kama. Mostly Dharma, Artha, Kama. All four are actually sense gratification. All four. The way they are understood by society. Okay? So here the Krishna being the authority, and because Krishna will say 15:15. How we say Krishna is the authority? 15:15 Krishna says, Vedanta Krit, I am the compiler of the Vedas. Because Veda Vyasa is the incarnation of Krishna. I am the Vedanta Vid, I know the Vedas. So when Krishna says rise above the Vedas, he is the authority. Being the compiler and the knower. Correct? He is the authority. So the rise above. All this Karma Kanda, I will do this, I will get that. Prabhupada is talking about that. They have some kind of Homa Yagna, so I get that, heaven where I can enjoy beautiful Apsaras. So very attractive. And just like you come to know, you do this, you do USMLE, you go to America, and then you can enjoy. People are very attractive. Correct? So similarly, those people have faith in Vedas, and they hear about Karma Kanda, they get very excited. So, this is a beautiful shloka. We should remember this. Bhogaishwarya prasaktanah Taya aprahita chetasa Vyavasayatmika buddhi Samadho na vidhiyate. Now Krishna in the same breath says Bhoga Aishwarya together. So they both are equally dangerous. He is saying if you are Bhoga Aishwarya prasaktanah, if you are indulging in Bhoga and Aishwarya, you are attached to that. Taya aparhita chetasam, somebody else, just like we are in college, we say, no, I am a brahmachari. To 25 years, we should follow brahmachari. Strictly, nothing to do with a woman. That is called brahmacharya. Otherwise, it's prostitution actually. What going on with the rubbish prostitution. Anyway. So you say Bhoga Aishwarya. So there was, I will not deal and I will remain brahmachari, and you're focusing on the studies. So you're not directly attached, but somebody else, you see, bike is going with it, and you get disturbed. So either way, either directly you are attached, or somebody else does it and you get disturbed. Because I took example because sex is the biggest desire. Let us be frank. So taya aprahita chetasa. Or you say, I don't want, I will have a simple mobile, 1,000 rupee mobile, call and then you see somebody coming, your classmate to the class with, iPhone 5S, and you become enchanted. Then no. Then what will happen is that why it is gone? Because that has become a source of satisfaction for you. Then where is the solution to Krishna? Queen Kunti says, Janma Aishwarya Shutarshi me. If these things become a source of satisfaction for you, why you will surrender to Krishna? Even if you pray to Krishna, where there is a sincerity, correct? Suppose somebody becomes a little opulent, somebody he gets some mobile which you are thinking, then that becomes source of, then why pray? A devotee knows, my Lord, without you, this whole world is vacant. What does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say? Yuga hitam nimeshena chakshusha pravashayitam shunya hitam jagasarva. My Lord, without you, I can't live. This world is vacant. But for somebody who has not got the Lord, is conditionally either of the two. So here is saying Krishna, if you are enchanted by sense gratification, directly attached, or you become, if somebody gets it, either of the way, if that is a problem, you cannot have samadhi on peace. Samadhavana Definitely, correct? You want to take simple example. Now this is not samadhi. Samadhi is on Krishna. Even your studies, you want to concentrate some kind of samadhi. But when either of these two things, then how can you concentrate? You live on thinking, yeah, if I can have that, or he got. Either way, you are disturbed. Then you cannot concentrate. Samadhona vidiyate. Very nice sloka and very important. Prabhupada says very nice line here. They are more or less condemned by the process of material energy. Somebody which is entangled with either of them, they are crushed by the material energy. What samadhi they can have? Trigunya Vishaya Veda Trigunya Bhavarjana Nirdvandva Nitya Sattvasto Niryokshema Atmavan. Again Krishna is saying lift above the Vedas. He is giving reason for that. Trigunya Vishaya Veda Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. That double is all Vedas. Vedas is teaching you how to live in this world. And Bhagavad Gita and Bharata teaches you how to get out of this world. Therefore, we focus on these two books. There is a reason why we are focusing. These two books particularly tell us how to get out of this world. Just suppose we are in jail, which is more important, how to live nicely in the jail, how to get out. Get out is more important. I am not saying it's not important how to know, because for the time you are there in the jail, live peacefully. But how to get out is more important. Correct? But people, the Raiguniya Vishaya Veda, A class jail, B class jail, C class jail, within the jail they are seeing, he's having this mobile, he's having this car, he's having this bungalow, and he's having a private aeroplane, private helicopter, no limit. So Krishna, and they keep struggling from C class jail to go to B class jail. Just like Musharraf is arrested in Pakistan, he's in his bungalow only. He's not in jail, he didn't want to be in jail. In the court they ordered actually arrest. He ran, and he can, in that country everything can be adjusted. And the court itself has declared his bungalow as a jail. But he is living in a bungalow with all shower, TV, phone, everything. So that is A class jail. Many big people when they are arrested, they get A class nowadays. All the jails are having, because big ministers get arrested. A class jail, B class jail. So we are in a jail, but instead of thinking to get out of the jail, we are only thinking, this minister is here, A class is enjoying, perhaps I can enjoy like that. Get out of the jail, no? We are so excited. So devotee is actually fixed on getting out. Therefore, Bhoga and Aishwarya doesn't attract him. He knows my real satisfaction is Krishna. Because Krishna is saying, be transcendental, be free from the dualities of gain and anxiety, be established in the self. Yes. Yes, next.
All purposes that are served by the small pond can at once be served in great reservoirs of water. Similarly, all the purposes of Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind it.
So all the things that we heard, not only here, in any religion, we hear about surrender to the Lord, we hear about love of Lord. Gita is everything. Everything. All the wells, Buddhism talks about, ahimsa. Even ahimsa is there in Gita, the divine quality. So somebody may say that why Krishna is then ordering killing here, when he says later, ahimsa is a divine quality. Why? Because himsa, he changes the definition of himsa. Himsa means to arrest somebody's spiritual growth. When somebody is dying in front of the Lord, it does not arrest his growth, rather he gets full liberation. So that is not, you have to properly understand what is himsa. So now what happens is that, there are so many teachings of the Vedas, Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, everything. But the purpose of them is, we say, do whatever in spiritual life. The purpose is we should not forget. In Bhagavad Gita end Krishna says, Sarva Dharmana Pariteja, Mamekam Sharanam. If you get locked to any one of them and you don't surrender to the Lord, it's a waste. Correct? That should not become. So Krishna is saying anyway, all the purposes will be fulfilled if you surrender to the Lord. Yeah. This is a very famous sloka. You did the well and a river you understood, no? In a well, what happens? Some river we take baths, some well we drink water and all. But in the river you can do everything because of flowing water. Well is stagnant water. So we can use one well for one purpose only. So there are so many things taught in the Vedas, this thing, this thing, this thing. But if you take to directly to devotion service, all the purposes are automatically served. This is a very famous shloka. Everybody knows it, I think. Karmani eva dhikarate. Ma padeshu kadachana. Ma karma phala hetu bhu. Mate sangvasu karmani. There are many, many deep meanings in the shloka. I'll give the simple meaning. That itself is a class. This is the shloka actually for karma yoga. It says karmani ev adhikarate. Everybody is asking right. Nowadays this word women's right. Everywhere going on. Women's right. They want 1/3 seats in right. Everybody wants right. Now in America they have given the right. 15-year-old girl can have morning afternoons without restriction. Right. Everybody wants right. Now, how obnoxious. So we have a right. Krishna is saying you have a right. Adhikara is there. What is the right? Do your duty. Just like you go to principal in the college or school. Teacher, what is my principal? What is my right? Now you have a right to attend your class. Very clever. You have a right to attend your class. Because a Vedic culture was duty-bound culture. Today culture is, people are very conscious of the duties in Vedika. I have a duty. And for that ready to sacrifice. But people are ready only interested in right. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, you have a right, Arjuna, to do your duty. And what is your duty? Based on Varnashram. You are a Kshatriya, do your duty as a Kshatriya. Ma phaleshu kadashana. But you don't have any right on the fruit. Never. Your adhikara is not on the fruit. Your adhikara is the karma. So if not in the fruit, what do you do with the fruit? Give it to Krishna. If you are not going to, suppose you, we gave that example many times, some of you remember this. Suppose you take a mango seed, go and plant outside. And it takes 5 years, it grows. And what you did 5 years, you put water sometimes. At any time you don't have to put water, other time you have to put little water. And after the plant is there 5 years, mangoes are ready. And you go with the basket to plant. Krishna says, wait. Krishna comes and wait, these fruits are mine. So what? I was the one who put the seed here and I put water and you say, Krishna says, who designed the seed? Who designed the air? Who designed the sun? Okay? Who designed the nutrients? Who designed the rain? Who designed the ocean, the planet, everything? Even you. Everything I designed. Your contribution was so small, just sometimes you put water there. But you take all the credit. That is how we are. We take every credit. So there Krishna is explaining, you have a right, do your duty. Just put that water that we are supposed to do. That's it. Ma phaleshu kadachana. This whole fruit that comes belongs to me. Ma karma phala hetu bhu. Because you are not the cause of these fruits that I told you. All the reasons is actually Krishna, including you. Ma te sangvastu karmani. Now you say that I am not going to get fruits, then I am not work. Krishna is saying, don't become akarmani after hearing all this. You work hard, at the end of it you see, I will enjoy my salary. Krishna says, no, give it to me. Huh? Then I am not work. Krishna says, you still have to work. Anybody, you tell him, you work hard, at the end of it, all the salary give to Krishna. He will say, I will not work. Because Krishna is saying, you are not the cause of the fruit. So you go, all the money belongs to me. Because anybody will, I will not work. So last line is there, Ma te sangvastu akarmani. Don't become akarmani after hearing all this. Krishna is very good. He knows the reaction that will come. So the last line is there. Don't become akarmani after hearing all this. Yeah, never be attached to after hearing this. Not doing it. Okay. Next book. Yeah, you read the translation.
Be steadfast in yoga, O Arjuna. Perform your duty and abandon all attachment to success or failure. Such evenness of mind is called yoga.
Okay. So it's saying, Krishna is saying, continue, perform your duty, abandon all attachment. The same previous shloka is again building on that. O Dhananjaya, rid yourself of all the fruitive activities by devotion, service and surrender fully to that consciousness. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers. They Okay? They are holding, we should not hold. Whatever fruit you get, offer it to Krishna. But in holding, Krishna is saying you are actually, then you are myself. So by devotion service, Durena, actually we become liberated from fruity mentality. As we offer devotion service, gradually the purification happens and we become free. Fruity mentality is we are working with the fruit in the mind. Next.
A man engaged in devotional service rids himself of both good and bad actions even in this life. Therefore, strive for yoga, O Arjuna, which is the art of all work.
Correct? Devotion service will burn all the karmas. Just like going below a tree and clapping. When you chant Hare Krishna, you're clapping. Lines are changing. Therefore, if somebody is astrologer, devotee's hand he should not see, because he has taken now direct shelter of the Lord. So Krishna will play gymnastics now. He can do anything. So all the why we are not saying, Krishna is saying it. All the good and bad actions will you burn, even in this life. Okay, so therefore Krishna is saying, take to devotion. It is so auspicious.
The wise engaged in devotional service take refuge in the Lord and free themselves from the cycle of birth and death by renouncing the fruits of action in the material world. In this way, they can attain that state beyond all miseries.
Prabhupada has quoted that famous sloka, Samashitaye Padam Klavam Mahat Padam Purnesho Nare Pavamudi Vatsa Padam 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 Padam. Look at the poetry. Prabhupada said each verse is a beauty. Look at how many times the pada has been used. Pada Pallavam Plavam Mahat Padam Pavamudi Vatsa Padam Param Padam. Amazing. And every time there is a beautiful meaning. He says those people who take the shelter of the Lord, and they don't take shelter of the dangerous material world. Why? Because in this world, every step there is danger. Padam, padam, every pada, vipada is waiting. Right? Any acute dangerous condition, ferocious dangerous condition is waiting. We don't know it coming. It's waiting for us. Therefore, a person who is sane will not like to settle down there. He will like to go and settle down in Pakistan. Every moment there is a danger. We don't know when the bomb falls next. Better go to a safe place, and the safest place is Krishna. Krishna's place. Yes.
When your intelligence is passed out of the dense forest of delusion, you shall become indifferent to all that has been heard and all that is to be heard.
Yada te moha kalilam. So now what is happening, Krishna is telling a stage of complete self-realization. And what happens in that stage, that actually now, just like Prabhupada quotes this great Acharya, Sandhya Mandanam Bhadramastu, this Madhavendra Puri, who is Siddhapagna, liberated soul. He says, oh Sandhya Mandanam, all obeisances to you. Oh, 3 times taking bath, all respects to you. I can't do all this. I just sit. So once somebody is actually, see, we do sadhana to attain pure love of Krishna. When I attain pure love of Krishna, sadhana doesn't become a prerequisite. He's, naturally, we are doing every day 16 rounds so that we come to love of Krishna. But still, the acharyas, even though they are in pure devotion platform, do sadhana just to give an example. Because we are very ready. We will say, ho gaya, I have also become now pure devotee. And there is no need to do chant. Ho gaya, sab samajh aa gaya. So, we may imitate, so therefore Prabhupada also personally used to very carefully finish his round. Sometimes people will come to talk to Prabhupada, say, please wait for some time, I have to chant my rounds. There is no need for it. Even Haridas Thakur used to chant 192 rounds. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to him when he came to know through Govinda, his servant, Haridas Thakur is sick, he came to him. He said, he was lying on his back, he was so sick, and he was still chanting, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. He was trying to finish his rounds. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, what's your disease? I want to know, you're not well. He said, my disease is I am not able to complete my rounds. And we, Prabhupada says, if you're not able to complete your round, you should know you're in a disease condition. Then next.
When your mind is no longer disturbed by the flowery language of the Vedas, and when these when it remains fixed in the trance of self-realization, then you will have attained the divine consciousness.
Correct? You see, previously, this is the Vedic setting where people have so much faith in the Vedas. When they hear a beautiful garden is there, beautiful apsara is there, people get attracted and they do Huma. So much faith was there. Today nobody will do it. Everybody doesn't believe in the Vedas. But at least you look at this way. Somebody gives you all enticement of enjoyment. You can go here, yeah, we will enjoy. You can go here. And you say, not interested. That means you are fixed on some higher pleasure. Therefore you are able to give up lower pleasure. The mind is no longer disturbed by any flowery description of any enjoyment. Then it is known, you are fixed in self-realization. Then you can know. And you attain the divine consciousness. And now what happens when Arjuna gets this, he hears this, he says, Krishna, wait a minute. Can you tell me the symptoms of a man who is self-realized? You see the next shloka. We'll chant this. Arjuna vacha Siddhapagmasya kavasha Samadhistasya kesha Siddhadhikim pravasheta Kim asita prajeta.
Arjuna said, what are the symptoms of one whose consciousness is thus merged in transcendence? How does he speak and what is his language? How does he sit and how does he walk?
So Prabhupada catches in this verse, and it's a very deep shloka. Prabhupada says, look, first thing he asks, how does he speak? Any man, if you want to know what he is, see what he speaks. If he talks about movies, he speaks about cricket, he speaks about all the politics in this world, we know what he is. Correct? He is the ordinary man, Gramya Katha. There are two Kathas, Krishna Katha, Gramya Katha. See, you speak what you are meditating on. If you are meditating on Krishna, you will constantly speak about Krishna. Correct? That is what I said. What does he speak? A devotee always speaks about the Lord, because that is his meditation. Correct? So that is the way they say the donkey we don't know unless he opens his mouth. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Prajahati Yada Kama Sarva Partha Manogata Atmani Vatmana Tushta Sarvagna Sadauchate. Famous verse. We should remember this. Beautiful verse. You can always see not only these words will help you instruct other persons. That is my desire. Even yourself, you can sometimes just remember these words. It's very important, Prajahati Yada Kama. First symptom of a self-realized soul. Because Arjuna asks, what are the symptoms of self-realized soul? So Krishna is the first symptom. Prajahati Yada Kama. And he kicks out. Prajahati means, you see that, gives up. What? Kama. Kama means all the desires we have for self-gratification. Not only sex, every kind of desire. It's Kama. So Prajahati Yada Kama, get lost. Why? What is the knowledge? Sarva Partha Manogatan. Arjuna, he knows all of them. Partha means Arjuna. What is that? Manogatan. Each one is just a gymnastic of the mind. Some fantasy created by the mind. Actually, that pleasure does not exist. Any one of them. Now take it from authority of Krishna. Why you want to burn your hand and just like an example you give. Suppose a fire is burning. He said, don't touch your hand. It will burn. Or I tell you, there is 440 volt electrical wire. Don't touch. So intelligent person, what happens? He hears to the authority. And a teacher is explaining. And he explaining the effect, what happens when you touch such a current. I will not touch. That is first class intelligence. Second class intelligence, the modern day youth. They will not listen to anything. I want to, there was an example, one devotee joined and the mother came to talk to Prabhupada. And she herself said, my son was taking drugs previously. So one other devotee said, why he was taking drugs, to the mother as a question. No, he was just experimenting. Even parents accept that fact. And how it can be so evolved. So this is all imagination of mind. You accept from Krishna's authority, you are saved. You are saving yourself if you accept Krishna's authority. It's only a fantasy of the mind. You'll burn your whole life you want to learn. And second class intelligence is he burns his hand and learns. And third class is He burns one hand, then another hand, then one leg, another leg. Still he does not learn. And we are in that category. Even though it never works out, still we have a hope against hope. It will work out. Prabhupada says, material life is a losing business. Close it. Suppose you start a business, you make loss. Close it. No. You open. No, close. Better close. So sarvan atmani evatmana tushtaha. Why? Is so much spiritual pleasure is relishing. Siddha pagna sa tada uchate. He is a siddha pagna. So it's not ordinary, very advanced condition. He's immediately able to understand it's a fantasy of my mind. It will never work out. And he's situated on spiritual pleasure. Yes, Mother, you can read the meaning.
The blessed Lord said, O Bharata, when a man grieves of all varieties of sense desire, which arise from mental concoction, and when his mind finds satisfaction in the self alone, then he is said to be in a pure transcendental consciousness.
One who is not disturbed in spite of three-fourth Mataji.
One who is not disturbed in spite of the threefold miseries, who is not elated when there is happiness, and who is free from attachment, fear and anger, is called a sage of steady mind.
This is also beautiful sloka. Gita raga bhaya krodha. Free from, these are the problems in this world. Attachment, fear and anger.
He who is without attachment, who does not rejoice when he obtains good, nor laments when he obtains evil, is firmly fixed in perfect knowledge.
Okay. Next.
One who is able to withdraw his senses from sense objects, as the tortoise withdraws his limbs within the shell, is said to be understood as truly situated in knowledge.
Correct. Basic essence is there, we have understood. He is situated in spiritual pleasure and mental pleasure is indifferent. He's understand the mental pleasures are only fantasy. And now there is a beautiful example of tortoise. You know this example of tortoise? Tortoise, what he does, everything is inside the shell. And when he has hands and legs, correct? His head also goes inside? Head also goes. And so you can't do anything, you cannot attack him, it's a shell only, tuck. And when he wants to go somewhere, his head comes out, he looks in the direction, his hands come out, legs come out, he moves there, and all hands, legs and head also goes inside. What a beauty. That's how a devotee should be. Our senses are fully under our control. We have to do some service to Krishna. Eyes open. They go there. Hands do. Job is done. Closed. No distraction. He doesn't have time for distraction. That is not easy. Vishayani vartante graharasya dehina rasuvarjara svopiyasya paramdrishvani vartate. It's a beautiful sloka where Krishna says, what is the meaning?
The embodied soul may be restricted from sense enjoyment, though the taste for sense objects remains. But ceasing such engagement by experiencing a higher taste is fixed in consciousness.
So, sometimes it happens the doctor advises you. You don't eat something, but the taste is still there. Suppose you got jaundice or something, doctor says some disease, some restriction is there. You got a cold, doctor says don't eat cold items, you don't eat ice cream, he's having infection. But taste is there, he's seeing ice cream, saliva is coming. Possible. Sometimes diabetes, they just say you cannot take sweets, but they see the sweet shop and so that should not be a standard of a devotee. Because he is, Vishaya vini vartante, he is given up Vishaya. Nirahara sidehina, he is saying, I will not touch it. But rasa varja raso api asyaha, even though he gives up that thing, still hankering is there. So Krishna says solution is param drishtva nivarta. You get a higher taste, you can give up lower taste. That is Krishna is saying the solution. Now you are hearing again and again, all of us want to follow. Who is there doesn't want to follow? But how do I get it? Krishna says, you taste higher taste or devotion service to me. Automatically lower taste will go away. That's it.
The senses are so strong in interiors, O Arjuna, that they forcibly carry away the mind even of a man of discrimination who is endeavoring to control them.
And Prabhupada is giving an example of Visham. Little carelessness, even one of the senses will destroy us. You have to be very, very careful. There are other living entities, their one senses will destroy. Fishes is eating. They see some new bait, they get trapped. And then bees are smelling, and the flower closes and dies inside. Correct? If you analyze, every species is one sense which is powerful, it destroys them. For us, all the five are powerful. So we have to be very, very careful. Okay. And we have enough examples. Daily we hear.
One who restrains his senses and fixes his consciousness upon me is known as a man of steady intelligence.
Correct. Next.
While contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them, and from such attachment lust develops, and from lust anger arises.
This is a famous sloka, also everybody should remember. Dhyayato Vishaya Pumsaha Sangaste Shubhajayate Sanga Sanjayate Kama Kama Krodha Vijayate Dhyayate, this is science. In fact, I surprise in psychology it doesn't exist. 9 stages of how we get entangled with the sense objects. You see what happens, how people through acid, they kill a girl which refuses a proposal. They kill sometimes, correct? Any time they see sometime, or for a small thing, for a matchstick, somebody just kill. You don't understand what happens. Suddenly how he became crazy. Nobody becomes suddenly crazy. He goes through 9 stages. First stage is Dhyayate. What is that? Just like a liquor. First thing is contemplation. But I want to see. Every movie I see, big heroes are smoking, drinking. I also want to once try. Because that is called to be smart. Dhyayate Vishaya Pumsa. So first thing is contemplation. Then leads to Sangha, attachment. Sangha Sanjayate Kama. Kama is strong and I want. Kama Krodha Vijayate. Then he now starts becoming angry. Okay? Then next. Krodha Bhavati Sammoha. What happens? Because of anger, he gets into delusion. Sammoha Smriti Vibrama. Because of delusion, he loses his memory. Smriti Vamshad Buddhi Nasham. Because he loses his memory, now he loses his intelligence. And once a person loses intelligence, which is the last fort, he becomes crazy. Intelligence, instead of saving him, plans how to smoke a cigarette without the knowledge of the parents. It's the same intelligence which can save him. Correct? That's what they do. In the hostels, every hostel, cigarette is banned. But they figure out how to smoke it, where to smoke. Correct? So the same intelligence which can actually protect him, once that is captured, person is gone. Next.
One who can control his senses by practicing the regulative principles of freedom can obtain the complete mercy of the Lord and thus become free from all attachment and aversion.
Look at the word Prabhupada is used. Regulated principles of freedom. How beautiful it is. Everybody thinks this is a regulation which I do not want to follow. Prabhupada is saying that regulative principle which will actually free you. If you follow this, your mind is fully free. You are so peaceful. So free. But if you don't follow this, even one of them, you will be stuck like Daldal, and whole life will spin around that. They are regulative principles of. Suppose I say I will climb to the 10th story of the building and I want to jump. You say, don't jump. No, why are you controlling me? I want to jump. Jump. You break your leg, then your freedom is over. You want to show your freedom, you want to jump from 10th story, jump. Then your freedom is over. You will have the bed for the rest of the life. Correct? They say, what is there? I want freedom, I want to smoke. Why are you stopping me? I smoke. Then no. Cancel. Then your freedom is over.
For one who is so situated in the divine consciousness, the threefold mysteries of the material existence exists no longer. In such a happy state, one's intelligence soon becomes steady.
Okay, so Krishna is concluding. When it comes to divine consciousness, there are no material miseries. Miseries are there. It's just like you travel from here, like a rat taken by a cat and a kitten taken by a cat. There is a difference of experience. And a cat takes his rat, what does rat mean? Margya. And when he takes a child feels love of the mother. Correct? So a devotee who is engaged in devotional service, Vishwam Purna Sukhayate. Only we have to change our consciousness. And I am a servant of the Lord, just accept. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Jiva Krishna Dasa, ye vishwas, karle tera dukha nahi. Correct? If it's just simple Bengali, it says exactly, I am not remembering the word, that just accept this fact that you are servant of the Lord, there is no misery for you after that. So you look at this. So he's saying, once intelligence becomes steady, there is no intelligence. Yeah, there is no problem.
One who is not in transcendental consciousness can have neither a controlled mind nor steady intelligence, without which there is no possibility of peace. And how can there be any happiness without peace?
So when you take to Krishna consciousness, your mind becomes purified. It's a happiness formula. First you follow the regulative principles. When you follow the regulative principles, your mind becomes peaceful. Your activity becomes pure. When activity becomes pure, your mind becomes pure. When your mind becomes pure, your mind becomes peaceful. When mind is peaceful, you are happy. So Krishna is saying, without, how can there be happiness without peace? There is no question. So we come to a peaceful condition by performing devotion service. No other way. Yeah.
As a boat on the water is swept away by a strong wind, even one of the senses on which the mind focuses can carry away a man's intelligence.
Okay. Just like a boat, one wind, one direction, it is swept away. One sense can destroy. Prabhupada says it's like a serpent. Living with the senses is like living with the serpents. We have 5 serpents with us. Sasarpe grihe vashu vritti evana samshayaha. If you are living in a house of serpents, death is certain. So your senses are there like 5 serpents. We have to be very careful. Just like you're living in a house of serpents, you're careless, any serpent will bite you and we are finished. Yeah.
Therefore, O mighty arm, one whose senses are restrained from their objects is certainly a steady intelligence. What is night for all beings is the time of awakening from the self-control, and the time of awakening for all beings is night for the introspective sage.
Yeah, they should also. All can remember. Ya nisha sarva bhutana tasyam jagriti samyam yasyam jagriti bhutani sa nisha pashyato mune. It is so true this shloka. You see, even time-wise, our schedule is we sleep 9:30 to 3:30, and for the sense gratifiers, that is the day. That is the time of excitement for them. Life starts at 9:30. Why they want night life in Bangalore? 9:30 to 3:30. That's the life. In all hostels, they sleep at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. And that is the time we are deep asleep. And that is the time they are awake. And when we are doing our japa, that is the time they are deep asleep. That's what the shloka is saying. Just like when a devotee gets, even in dreams, a desire for sense gratification, he wakes up. He prays, correct? Narsimha-deva, he prays and then sleeps. He is horrified. And for a person who is like animal, which is happening today, they get excited. Arey yaar, we go home, party, we will drink. And a devotee, when he even thinks of such a desire, he starts praying. Prabhupada says, devotee feels ashamed when even he has a desire for sense gratification. He feels ashamed of that. I am a servant of the Lord. What is all this going in my heart? My Lord, please protect me, please protect me. He prays. Unless you pray, why will God save you? First you want, then Krishna will give you protection. So this is so much true. What they feel excited about, we feel horrified. And what we feel excited about, oh, horrible. We feel 2 hours while you were there, kata kata kirtan. Yeah. This sloka also to be remembered. Apuryamanam achalam pratishtam samudramapa pravishanti yadvat tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve